I'm going to talk about how to play R&B music on the double bass. Now, I know a lot of you here are most familiar playing in the style of classical music. But today, I'm going to do something a little different. Now, I'm sure you've heard of the term R&B, which stands for rhythm and blues. So the song I just played was in that style. I like to think of it more as pop music. That's just my opinion because it's popular music. But that, when you go to iTunes and you look up the genre of music, it's going to be under R&B. So we're going to learn how to play this kind of music. The song I just played, I don't quite know what it's called. You probably know what it is, right? I think it's by Usher, Alicia Keys, or Mario. I don't know. By the way, Mario is a singer. There's a singer called Mario. I know there's a game, so we can get it mixed up. But so how do we play in this style? That is the question. So basically what we're trying to do is emulate pop singers. How is it done? What is the technique used to emulate pop singers? How do we do it? Have you ever seen a pop singer before and ever wondered, why does it sound so unique? What are they doing with that voice? Is it the vibrato? Is it their tonality? Is it the rhythm? Are they just born with it? I mean, you have to wonder how they do it. After playing a lot of pop music just now, actually, and experimenting, I've finally figured them out. I know how they do it. And in this video, I am going to tell you how it's done. So take a look at this. Right? So, I don't know if you paid attention to my left hand or not, but when you look at my left hand, you can see I'm doing something a lot different than classical music. I'm switching gears here, and I'm doing some things that are in the style of R&B, which is basically what I'm talking about is pop music. And so if you pay attention, that wasn't so good. It's very difficult to pull off, actually, but what I'm doing is a lot of things with my left hand. The way I use my left hand, and all of it is left hand based, the technique I'm doing. So the right hand out of the equation. You can just go ahead and put this behind my back here because it has nothing to do with what we're trying to do here. So how do we do it? And what I'm about to tell you is so unique, it's so important to opening gateways into playing music that's not classical. A lot of music actually uses what pop singers use because pop singers or R&B singers use a lot of natural human vibrato and technique that is different from the old classical. And by doing this technique, you're basically opening yourself up to being able to play basically all the modern music. It's an amazing thing to learn. You know, I see a lot of arrangements of classical players playing on YouTube. And you have to think to yourself, some of them are good at it, some of them are not so good at it. And the question is why? Why do some instrumentalists who do covers not sound so good on the pop music, which is quite frantically easy to play? How do they do it? I'm about to tell you why. And I'm going to tell you how to do it in a way that makes it sound good when you play pop. Because the way they do it is so different than classical music. We're about to open a lot of opportunity here as far as what kind of music you can play after this technique that I'm about to teach you. So here it is. Now before I talk about this, I have to do this now. I'm a big fan of carbon fiber bows. In fact, the bow I'm using right now is carbon fiber. You may have heard of these bows before. You might be using them right now, actually. But if you aren't, and if you've never used them, you've never believed in them, you don't want it. Some of you don't want anything to do with carbon fiber. Let me tell you this. Well, actually, let me ask you this. Have you ever experienced issues with your wood bow where you find nicks, scratches, dents, and over time your bow just looks like a chewed out piece of a pencil from middle school? I used to chew my pencil in middle school, by the way. And I don't know if you guys chew your bows, but carbon fiber is so strong that you can step on these things and they will be in one piece. It's amazing. Not only that, they sound pretty decent. In fact, there are some smart scientists that have figured out how to make carbon fiber bows sound like wood bows. And that's the whole art form of carbon fiber. Now, the advantage of carbon fiber over wood is that they're just so strong, folks. They are incredibly dense, and you can do all sorts of things that you couldn't do with wooden bows. Even you can do pop music now. You can hit the stick. What's that song called? I'm doing it wrong. It's not called Uptown Funk or something like that. I don't know. But, you can do all sorts of stuff like that. All sorts of stuff that you couldn't do with a wooden bow. Now let's talk about prices of these things. They range from, the most common bow that people buy is the one from Coda Bow, which is very nice. And they're very nice quality. Actually, this is a Coda bow that I didn't pay for, that I won from a competition, so I'm very thankful about that. But I realized that a lot of people don't want to buy these bows because they're just too expensive. Nobody wants to buy these big bows, especially if you've never used one before. Which is why I made a cheaper version, more accessible version available on my website. And I'll post a link in the description. But you can buy these things much cheaper than what you see on the market, actually. I think the one on my website is on sale right now. Like, it's a ridiculous sale, like 20-30% off for like $285. There's bows right now for thousands. You can find some for $500 if you get lucky, but for $285. Right, this is a sale we're talking about. I'm not. This is a sale, right? The reason why I'm doing that is so I can get more people to play these bows because these are so cool, so amazing. So this is carbon fiber. It's an amazing piece of equipment. that I've always used since I was 14 years old. Yeah, you have to ask yourself why I would do that, and because it just has been so successful in my career. It has taken me many places, and it has allowed me to play a lot of styles of music, like R&B, which I'm gonna talk about right now. So sorry about this. I'll end that little break and talk about R&B. So how do we do that? Well, guys and gals, the trick is the slide. The slide. The slide is the most important thing when playing R&B. You must master the art of the slide. So what do I mean by the slide? You're probably asking yourself, Xavier, what does the slide have to do with R&B? It has everything to do with R&B. So let me play this section again. I played before. Now look at my left hand. All of that, 80% is slides. You know, you have music that's Mozart, sounds something like this. That's classical music, folks. We're breaking a lot of rules. We're breaking a lot of rules. Just forget what you've learned in music school. We're going to focus on this. We're going to do a lot of slides. Boom! This, my friends, is the secret sauce to playing R&B. You know what? I'm just going to write pop. Just call it what it is. Let's call it what it is. Pop music. The slides. There's another song called Over the Rainbow. A lot of pop singers sing. Listen, look at my left hand now. If you're listening to this without the video, then just imagine my left hand. A lot of that was slide bass. I actually could have done this one better. You see, even I have trouble doing this. Like, that was a perfect slide, right? I went from bum bum, because that's what I'm trying to do in classical music. But the trick to doing this kind of stuff, the R&B and pop, you gotta break this classical habit. And it's so hard. And I understand that it's so hard to do when you're a classical musician. So, something like that. You know, when I just played that, I had a really hard time playing it in the pop song because, again, the whole time I was breaking the rules of classical music. So, there's another thing that pop singers do. I'll add in as a little bonus. I know this video is getting a little bit long, but I'll add this in here. The vibrato, the vib. Let me see. Vibrato is so important when playing this kind of R&B pop style. So I'm just write Viv here. Right? And I'm going to cross out classical twice because when we're playing Mozart or Bottesini, you know, for you bassists out there who are obsessed with Bottesini, which is great. Fantastic. You got to break the rule again with vibrato. Again! So how do we do it? How do we do this? How do we do the vibrato thing? Here's what I do when I'm trying to play pop music on the bass as a classical musician. Put your thumb down if you're a thumb musician. You put a thumb on a random note. Put that ring finger above the thumb. You hear that? And I'm gonna do that. See ya. You can hear the vibrato sounds a little bit different than the classical vibrato. Or what's that Brahms thing? Right, the vibrato I'm using in this Brahms cello sonata is much different than way different than Brahms. I'm telling you. Try playing Brahms, using the style of Brahms and playing Justin Bieber. It's not going to work. It's a totally different approach to pop music. Now, that's just, I'm a classical musician. You have to consider this fact. I'm a classical musician. I am not, by any means, Nicki Minaj. I don't know if you've noticed or not, but I am not Nicki Minaj. Don't look like her. Don't sound like her. Not even close to her personality. But from my perspective and from my experience, what I just told you will help you as a classical musician approach pop music. Because if you ask a pop singer how to play this stuff on the bass, first of all, they probably won't even know the difference between a bass and a double bass. You'll be like, oh, what's the double bass? What's the contrabass? They don't even know what a contrabass is. So, these are, pop, R&B. Remember the focus on that vibrato. Emulate that vibrato. Emulate means to copy. Copy the way they sing, vibrato-wise, and the slides. Emulate the slides. Emulate the vibrato. And you will be well on your way to do those YouTube cover songs. So, there you have it. Thanks for listening. I'm going to end this here. Remember to go on my website, www.xavierfoley.com, to check out these carbon fiber bows, which I have called the Fiesta bow. Fantastic bow. You can get it in white, salt, pepper, black. By the way, for those of you who are asking about bow hair color, white, it's all the same really, but a lot of classical solo bass players like to get it in white because the quality of the hair isn't so sticky compared to black. Black hair is known to be more sticky and more preferable for the heavy orchestral, You remember that from orchestral class? Fun times. Sorry, my AC just turned on. But black hair and white hair, black hair is more stickier for orchestral, white hair is better for solo. Fortunately, my video camera that I was just using ran out of battery, so I'll finish off by saying that the white hair, again, better for solo. Black hair, better for orchestral. It's just because of the way the hair is built. Black hair has different granularity to it that allows it to stick more. So that's, a lot of people like stickiness for orchestral and the opposite for soft, delicate solo playing. So I'll end the video here. Thanks for listening to the end, and take care.